So first we'll start with the interview. Now, what happens in the interview? Interview can be held, as I said, on the second day evening or afternoon, that is on the site day test, or on the GTO 1 day or GTO 2 day in the evenings or the afternoons. That is as per your luck of draw. So one of the officers of the rank of colonel and above only. Like for GTO, you get major and above, whereas for the for the interview, you get officers of the rank of colonel and above. So they will conduct a one-on-one interview with you. Like here, how you see in one of the academies, a coaching Centurion Academy, they're having a coaching interview taking place. There will be a officer sitting behind the desk, and you will be sitting 10 feet ahead or 6 to 10 feet ahead, and your whole body can be seen by the interviewing officer. You will be sitting in a proper position with your hands on your knees in a relaxed manner, and your interview will take place. So, what is interview basically is that it is a one on one interaction between the candidate and the interviewing officer. And the aim is to see your officer like qualities. It consists of a series of structured questions like rapid fire questions. Three rapid fire questions are asked, maybe 5 to 6 questions each. Generally, five questions. One series of 5 questions, which we call CIQ. CIQ 1 consists of questions about your own background, education, performance in school, performance in job, etc. The second CIQ or rapid fire consists of questions about your family background, your friend circle, etc., extracurricular activities. And the uh, third consists of routine, how your routine is there, your awareness levels, and how you spend your spare time, and what all activities and hobbies that you have, etc. So basically, it is questions about you only, and in the middle, like to test your subject knowledge, you will be asked your subject questions also, and some awareness questions also. So, like if you say you like football, you play football, then you'll be asked questions about football, history of football, weight of football, size of the goalposts, height of the post, world champions, Indian team captain. So, any question about that game or hobby which you have mentioned can be asked. Okay. So, it lasts maximum an hour and supposed to last around 45 minutes. But since you do not wear a watch and the stress is so much, either you will feel it has passed very quickly or you will feel it has taken more than 2 hours. But don't worry, when you come out, you can see and you will be able to realize the time taken, generally not more than 45 minutes. If it is taking a long time, it means that you are a borderliner and the interviewing officer is not able to make up his mind. He wants to help you and pass you, but you are not showing the required uh, qualities, officer like qualities. So he is continuously probing you and giving you a chance to pass yourself. So, but generally, decision is made in the initial five. The interviewing officer can make out in the initial 15 minutes that you are what is your caliber and whether you can be passed or not. But it is 45 minutes is the standard time for an interview. Then the interview is conducted in an indoor, very calm, soundproof room. And before that, you are made to sit in a room outside and prepare. The magazines are given, and then one by one, as per your turn, you are called then. Dress and all, of course, you have to be in formal dress and looking your best. And you have to be very honest, no lying, no cheating. Be honest and be consistent. Prepare well, and you will pass. The next test that we have on the second day in the early in the morning, or the first test on the early in the morning, is called psychological test. So, what are psychological tests? These are basically a set of tests. It helps us determine your officer-like quality and what your personality is. How is your thought process, and are you suitable to join the armed forces and uh, enjoy the career that you're going to join and do well there. So the SSB psychology test, they consist of four tests basically. One is the thematic perception test, TAT. Next is the word association test, then the situation reaction test, and the self description test. So, what are these tests? Let me go through. They are all written, by the way. There is no action in it, they're just written exams. So, what is the aim of WAT? What is WAT and what is the aim? So, sorry, WAT means word association test. So, in 15 seconds, one word is flashed, and after 15 seconds, it is changed. In that 15 seconds, you have to come up with a sentence, and immediately whatever comes to your mind first. And after 15 seconds, the second word is will come up, and then you change, make a new sentence. So, like that, 60 words are flashed, and you make sentences of minimum length 5 to 6 words. So, what is it? What is the aim of this WAT? Is that it helps us assess the thinking process of the candidate. Whatever word is given, an instantaneous, in your mind, a first thought comes up, and you are supposed to write that down. So, it helps us because it helps us find your genuine nature, the true nature inside you. Because every human being, when we are growing up, we develop a lot of masks. We put on many roles. Like, for example, when we are small, we learn that if we keep crying, mommy will beat us up, so we stop crying. If we score well in school, we will get everybody will love us, so we start working hard for school. So we build up these mechanisms, which we call defense mechanisms, and our real character over time, the basic set we are born with, it gets hidden. So it becomes very difficult to really judge who you are. As I told you, we want a person who, when he faces challenges, he does not back out, he does not give up, he does not hide. He faces the challenges head on, takes it on, decides in time, takes the initiative, volunteers, and solves problems. Basically, we want very good problem solvers, problems of all nature. So, whatever comes to your mind, instantaneously you write the sentence. And the trick is that many people keep overthinking, and it results in a fake sentence or a implausible sentence, or they leave, and that gives us the idea that yes, what these are the weaknesses, he's trying to hide his real personality. So you must answer honestly, and whatever comes to your mind first, believe that you are going to be right and write that sentence. Basically, sentences should be positive, action oriented, and it should not be like preaching kind of sentences. It should not be from stolen from some movie or some very common quotation like that. It should be original in thought. Whatever strikes with, whenever immediate, whatever comes to your mind, you have to write it down. It also gives us the words you use and the way the sentences are made, the content of the sentences gives us a good idea about your personality traits and the officer like qualities which you possess. Next comes the situation reaction test. So again, as I said, we want fighters, we want people who challenge, who accept the challenge and overcome problems. Do not run away. So uh, here, what we see in the SRT, situations are presented to you. That is 60 situations. 30 seconds per situation is the time for your solution to read and solve the problem. And around one or two sentences, maybe 10 words each. That is max that you can write. Generally, you don't have that much time. You write around 10 to 12 words, and that is okay. So basically, your solution should have, uh, options. I'll do this and this. So every person has a different response to different problems, and we want to see how you respond to problems. Whether you have the ability to fight problems, challenge, accept challenges, or do you give up, or do you avoid, or deny the problems. So it helps us find out your inner soul. Then the next test we have is called the thematic perception test. So 11 slides are shown to you, 11 pictures like in the PPDT. PPDT one picture is shown here. You will be shown same picture, but different pictures 11 times, and one will be a blank picture. So you have to look at the picture, and just like in PPDT, you have to make a story. Whereas some hero is to be nominated, a problem he should be detecting and making use of available resources. He should be solving that problem, and immediate solution and a long-term solution. So how does the TAT work in helping us assess you? It is called also one of the projective techniques. The entire psychological test is a projective technique because whoever you choose as the hero is basically yourself. So whatever your hero does is whatever you will also be doing. Therefore, it helps us to assess you indirectly. So you project your personality onto somebody else. So it helps us see how you come, what kind of stories you write, whether you have imagination, realism, whether you are practical or not. What are your needs? What are your motivations? What are the conflicts in your mind? It also helps us see your emotional status like anxiety, depression, or other problems. Okay. And helps us see whether you are a trusting person or whether you're a suspicious kind of personality. So many things are there which we can find out from the thematic perception test. So basically, it is a very interesting test, 11 slides and one blank one. You can write whatever you want in your blank slide, the best story that you can come up with. Uh, and advisable not to prepare in advance, but you can practice it a bit. Do not commit things to memory. Like some people say, if you're going for WAT, commit words to memory, sentences to memory. No, never commit anything to memory. Be spontaneous. Because if you commit to memory, then your assessment will be bad. Because then you have masked your responses. You are lying basically. So whatever comes to mind, just believe that you are going to write it properly and write it. Over time, with training, you will come to realize that yes, I am writing negative. I should write positive. So then slowly you will change on your own. Then in the self description, you write basically what do your parents think about you, what do your brothers and sisters think about you, what do your friends think about you, what do your colleagues think about you, and what do you think about yourself, your strengths, weaknesses, etc. So it helps us assess whether you have got any self awareness, ability to introspect or put yourself in another person's shoe. So empathy, it helps us see your empathetic nature also. So whether you have got and we also see that when you have written this SD, does it match our assessment of you? If it doesn't match, that means you are living in a wonderland. Either you are totally clueless about yourself. So if you cannot understand yourself, you will never be able to understand or judge others also. After that comes the GTO test. One thing also is that they're called the PIQ. So in the PIQ or the personal information questionnaire, you give your all biodata, which is kept with the interviewing officer and with the psychologist. It helps them understand your personality and see your background. But the GTO does not have a copy of that. Our assessment of the GTO's assessment of the candidate is completely based on the performance on the day of the test. So GTO does not have any background knowledge about you, but the psychologist and the interviewing officer, they have the background knowledge about you. So the GTO tests, they are designed to see how you work within a group and how you contribute to the group. Like the tests are all leaderless. There is only in the command task you are made a leader. Otherwise, generally, all the GTO tasks are leaderless. That means you are free to assume the role of a leader, a follower, or a loser. So, what role you take determines your success. We want people who assume the role of leader when they can, and at times, when forced to, they become good followers also. So, the SSB in the GTO task, in the group task, we see that how are you behaving as a group member? Which role do you take? Are you leader, follower, or loser? And uh, when you are interacting with the group, what contribution do you make to the group success? Like if in PPDT, in the PGT, you have to move from one place to another. Are you able to give solutions to help the group? Are you contributing by physically working hard? So those things are seen in the GTO test. So what are the schedule for the GTO test? On the first day, first four tests are very important. They are called group discussion, group planning, progressive group task, and group obstacle race. These are the basic series tests. So first two tasks, if you see GD and GP, they exercise your brain. And the PGT and the GOR, that is a snake race, they are physical tasks. They exercise your body and your, we see your mind body coordination. So in the first four tests, your basic assessment is done. So it is called basic series test. Then in the next four tests, we see you in more detail. Whatever negatives we find out about you, we go more in detail so that we can make out if your negative is very bad or very, it can be overcome by some training. So in the half group task, lecturate, individual obstacle, command task, we see you as individuals or as part of a small group. And we see you in much more detail than in the first four tests. When this confirms our findings, then in the final group task, we again see you working as a big group. As we don't see you as individuals anymore, we see you as working as a group, so that our analysis of your personality is not biased. And finally, after the final group task, we give the final verdict in our report about you, whether you are pass, whether you are fail, or whether you are borderliner. Okay, like if you're pass or you are failed but borderliner fail, or failed and completely failed, that kind of assessment we do. So what is there in the group discussion is like you discuss with your friends. First two topics are given and you, it's a high level topics. You will discuss it for 20 minutes, and then you will get one easy topic for 20 minutes and you discuss it for 20 minutes. So two group discussion topics are there. The second topic is easy so that those who cannot do well in the first one, at least they can do well in the second one. Then in the group planning exercise, you are given a situation, you are shown a map, and a story is given, and you are supposed to write your individual solutions. And then you are supposed to discuss and then give a group solution, like and nominate somebody to give the group solution, like in the PPDT in stage one. So as you can see, if you remember, stage one is a small SSB going on, and the actual test that you see, group planning exercise, is part of the PPDT. Even in PPDT, you have the psychological aspects of TAT and all going in. So we have picked up pieces of the GTO and made a SSB stage one. And in SSB stage two, we make you do the complete thing. So in the first four tests, we see your brain and your body and the coordination relation in between them. Your negative aspects, whatever is wrong with you, we can find out fear of heights, unfit nature, not being able to make friends. So many things we can find out about you in the four initial tests. After that, in the next four tests, if we have found something bad about you, then we look more specifically into you. Like, for example, in the individual obstacle, we can make out whether you are unfit, you have a fear of height, fear of depth, anything. If we feel you are not confident, then command task it comes out. If we think that your awareness levels are low, lecture it में पता चल जाएगा. If you think that your brain hand-eye coordination, your physical fitness is bad, half rules task में पता चल जाएगा. So all these tasks help us to find out about your officer-like qualities. Then next is second half, final group tasks. Here we make you work as a group again. So it is a, we see that, finally we see कि हाँ ये बंदा actual में कैसा है. Let's look at him in a fresh perspective again. So here we finalize our test result and you are graded as pass or fail. And fail में दो type of grading होता है. एक होता है कि जो borderliner who may pass in the future, और एक होता है बिल्कुल fail. Okay. So ये होते हैं schedule for the GTO test and what the GTO test consists of. Over 2 days, 9 tests you'll be going through. Now, some people will ask you, if there are 9 tests in GTO, 4 tests in the psychology, and only 45 minutes in interview, which one is most important? Actually, all three are important, plus board conference is also very important because each one carries 225 marks and total your score is 900. Like in written, you have two subjects for NDA and three for CDSE. So 900 marks for NDA in written exam and 900 for SSB. Whereas in the CDSE, there are 300 marks and for the written exam, and for here you have 900, which gets reduced down to 600 proportionately, and your overall score comes out from 900. So schedule for the so that is how the assessment is done. Each test is important. Each you can be failed by anybody, but to pass, everybody has to agree to pass you. Also, because the system is very kind, even if you are passed by only 1%, there is still a chance of you passing. Therefore, you should not feel perturbed if you don't do properly in any test. Maybe you will do better in the other test and then still you will pass. So that is for the GTO test. Then finally, after that, we have the board conference which starts on the fifth day. Here, you will finally meet all the assessors who have been assessing you, and they will be sitting in a U-shaped conference table. You will be sitting in front of them. Above you, your performance will be projected, and before you enter, you will be discussed in detail. Your results will be announced to like we know before you enter how you have done. And if we want to give you a chance to pass, then in the board conference, and the interviewing officer will ask you questions, and if you reply properly, you will be passed. So board conference is also very important, carries 225 marks. And if we find that you are a good person and we feel that you deserve to pass, we may give you bonus marks also in the board conference. So board conference is a very important part of the testing process. So all tests are important. Every test is important, and you must do your best in every test. It cannot be that I will just prepare for psych. I will just prepare for. I find many people asking me, sir, I just want to prepare for IO. I just want to prepare for psych. That's a very silly way to prepare. If you have to prepare, you have to do prepare well everywhere and do well everywhere, because none of you know, or none of the officers who are there selected also till today know why they have been passed. Only the assessors know why you are passed or why you are selected. So do not, and that is why it is all when you are going for coaching, many people will guide you. Some people who have been to SSB before, some people who have senior officers who are retired. Take it with a pinch of salt, because none of them know why they have been passed or failed. So many times you take wrong advice from people. Some will say, sir, yeah, bahut easy tha. I went once and I passed. It is really easy, nothing to worry about. He doesn't know why he's been passed or failed. Then some people will say, oh, it is very bad. It is very, full of corruption. Ye, wo. He is just sour grapes. He must have never, he also doesn't know why he failed or why he has not been selected. Then there are senior officers or retired officers or serving officers who may be your relatives or good friends. And you think that, I will ask them and they will tell me. But they also are completely clueless. What is the meaning of officer like quality? What is the definition of officer like quality? What is all this SSB? Because let me tell you, the selection process for becoming an assessor is very, very tough. Out of 100 officers who go for the GTO course, hardly six or seven will make it to a GTO. And even among them, only four or five get posted as GTOs actually, finally. So, it's a very professional, a very highly specialized testing process. So do not rely too much on second-hand knowledge of people who don't even have any clue. Like there are some academies where the webinars are being, like this webinar I'm holding, there are webinars being held by civilians who call themselves instructors but have never been an assessor themselves. So they are going to mislead you because they don't know their nose from their bum. So they will talk all crap and they will teach you all crap. You may pass by chance, but generally by their guidance you will definitely fail. So choosing the correct academy by choosing the correct professional guidance is very, very important. So after the board conference, your results are announced after your lunch, and uh, Product required. So after the lunch, your results are announced, and those who pass, fresh test numbers are allotted, and you are sent for your medicals. And if you are going for Air Force, then you will be going for your computerized pilot selection system and medical after that. So it is a very long process. 5 day SSB plus 1 week medical, and in the middle, may 1 day of CPSS also if you're going for Air Force. But let me tell you, the joy of passing and hearing your name being called out is unmatched. Only those who have felt the pain of rejection know how much the joy of hearing your name on that selection day, and you have to work hard for that. And if you put in adequate effort, definitely it is very easy to become. I'm like, it is not so difficult. We are looking for average people. We are not looking for very bright minds or very dumb minds. We are looking for normal human being who functions normally, who is a very normal person with normal intellect. We don't require Einstein to become officers. So SSB is not a very tough thing if you go well prepared. If you don't prepare for it, you may pass one of say 100, 1 in 100 chance by luck, but generally you will not pass if you don't go if you go without any preparation. Okay, so that's all with my lecture for today. Any questions on the SSB process now? I am ready to handle. You can ask me anything that you want.